Let me ask you something uncomfortable. Think about the last 5 conversations you had. Really think about them. How many of those people do you actually know? Not their job title, not their coffee order, not their political opinions. I mean, do you know what they're afraid of? What they ache for? What moment in their childhood still shapes every decision they make today? If you're honest with yourself, probably 0. And here's the harder truth. Most people go through their entire lives without ever being truly seen by anyone, and without ever truly seeing anyone else. Today, we're diving into David Brooks' powerful 2023 book, How to Know a Person: The Art of Seeing Others Deeply and Being Deeply Seen. Brooks is a New York Times columnist, a best-selling author of The Road to Character, and someone who spent decades being emotionally disconnected, until he learned, through hard experience, that the most important skill a human being can develop is the ability to see another person fully. This book is the result of everything he learned. Let's get into it. Brooks opens the book with a confession. He grew up in a reserved, intellectual family. Think Yiddish, act British, as he puts it. Emotion wasn't discussed. Vulnerability wasn't performed. By the time he was a teenager, he had taken up permanent residence inside his own head. He became skilled at being interesting but not known, pleasant but not present. He describes being something of an escape artist. When other people revealed something vulnerable to him, he was expert at changing the subject, deflecting with a joke or pivoting to an idea. Intimacy made him uncomfortable. But then life tenderized him, as he says. Fatherhood cracked him open a little, and then he had an unlikely revelation. He was invited onto a panel discussion where people were feeling things out loud. And for the first time, he found himself actually moved, emoting in public. He calls this his road to Damascus moment. What Brooks came to understand is that being truly seen by another person, being illuminated, recognized, understood, is one of the most profound human needs we have. He introduces the contrast between 2 types of people. He calls them Illuminators and Diminishers. Illuminators make people feel noticed, valued, and more alive. They ask great questions. They remember what you said last time. When you're around them, you feel like you matter. Diminishers do the opposite. They ignore, dismiss, or steamroll. They make conversations about themselves. They give you the sense that you are just scenery in the movie of their life. Here's the big insight from Chapter 1. Becoming an illuminator is not a matter of personality. It is a skill, one that can be learned, practiced, and developed. And Brooks is going to show you how. Brooks is honest that before he learned to be an illuminator, he was guilty of a very common habit: the size up. The size up is what you do when you first meet someone. You scan their clothes, their accent, their haircut, and within seconds, you've already placed them into a category. Liberal, redneck, tech bro, depressed. You think you've understood the person when really you've just invented a character and projected it onto them. Brooks identifies several mental traps that prevent us from seeing people clearly. Tunnel vision. We see only what we're looking for and miss the rest. Naive realism. The belief that the way I see the world is simply the way the world is, so if you see it differently, you must be wrong. The objectification trap. Treating people as types rather than individuals with interior lives. Egotism. Making every conversation about ourselves. Essentialism. Reducing someone to one characteristic, their race, religion, job, and assuming that explains them. These are moral failings. They're mental shortcuts, cognitive defaults that evolution built in to save energy. But they make genuine connection impossible. To truly know someone, you have to override them deliberately. So what does it actually look like to illuminate someone? Brooks travels to Waco, Texas, to interview a 93-year-old black teacher named LaRue Dorsey, a legend in her community. And something surprising happens at their breakfast meeting. When a mutual friend enters the diner, LaRue's whole demeanor transforms. The stern, guarded woman Brooks had been sitting across from suddenly becomes warm, animated, alive. That moment teaches Brooks something crucial. How we show up in a conversation changes what the other person is able to show you. When people feel safe and seen, they reveal depths they'd otherwise keep hidden. The lesson here is about attention, the quality and kind of attention you bring into a room. Brooks distinguishes between passive and active attention. Passive attention is when you're technically present but not really engaged. Active attention is when you bring your whole self, your curiosity, your warmth, your genuine interest to bear on the person in front of you. He introduces a beautiful question to bring into any conversation. What is the most important thing you want me to know about your experience? Simple, radical. Most people have never been asked it. Chapter 4 introduces the concept of accompaniment, being fully with someone rather than just near them. Brooks opens with a gorgeous passage from the naturalist Loren Eiseley, who once floated down the shallow Platte River and felt himself merge with the landscape. The water, the sky, the entire continent. That sensation of dissolving the boundary between self and world is what genuine accompaniment feels like. To truly accompany someone is not to manage them from the outside. It's to enter their experience, their reality, their way of seeing, temporarily dissolving your own agenda so you can walk alongside them in theirs. Brooks argues that accompaniment is the foundation of all genuine human connection. Before advice, before insight, before solutions, there must be presence. Before we can know a person, Brooks asks us to understand what a person actually is. He opens this chapter with a devastating story of the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami and a French writer named Emmanuel Carrère who survived it alongside a family whose 4-year-old daughter, Juliette, was swept away in the waves. Carrère finds himself drawn into a kind of radical intimacy with the grieving family, a recognition that their loss is as real, as vast, and as sacred as anything he has ever encountered. From this, Brooks builds his philosophical core. A person is not a bundle of data points, not a collection of opinions, not a demographic category. A person is a point of view, a unique, first-person experience of the world, irreplaceable and unduplicable. Every human being carries inside them an entire universe of memory, desire, fear, love, and meaning. To truly know a person means engaging with that interior universe, not just the outer surface. Now Brooks gets practical. How do you access someone's inner world? Through conversation, but not just any conversation. Brooks is blunt. Most conversations are terrible. People talk at each other rather than with each other. The average conversation is 2 monologues taking turns. A good conversationalist is not a raconteur, a lecturer, or debate champion. A good conversationalist is a master of mutual exploration, someone who creates the conditions for both people to go somewhere new together. He offers concrete guidance on the right questions to ask. The best questions are not yes/no. They're not interrogations. They're invitations, open-ended prompts that give the other person permission to go deeper. He calls these elevating questions, ones that lift people out of the daily grind and into reflection. What crossroads are you at right now in your life? What has been the most surprising thing about your work? What do you think people misunderstand about you? Brooks also introduces a friend named David Bradley who counsels people by asking 3 categories of questions. What are your ultimate goals? What are your actual skills? How do you actually spend your days? Then mapping the gap between the 3. It's brilliant in its simplicity. The point: the quality of your questions determines the depth of your relationships. Here, Brooks shifts gears, zooming out to the social level. He presents sobering data. Between 1990 and 2020, the percentage of Americans who said they have no close friends quadrupled. 54% of Americans say no one knows them well. 61% of young adults report feeling lonely frequently or almost all the time. Time spent with friends has dropped by 58% since 2013. This is not a personal failing. It's a cultural crisis. Brooks calls it an epidemic of blindness, a society-wide failure to see and be seen. And he ties it to the rise of social media, hyperpartisan politics, and the erosion of community institutions like churches, civic organizations, and neighborhood life. The result is a dehumanized culture, one where it has become dangerously easy to view others not as complex human beings, but as opponents, categories, or irrelevancies. The cure, Brooks argues, begins with the individual, with each of us choosing to become better at seeing. Brooks has traveled the country having difficult conversations with grieving black women in South Carolina, furious Trump supporters in stadiums, Native American matriarchs in New Mexico still simmering with centuries of inherited rage. What has he learned? That hard conversations go wrong, not because people are unwilling to engage, but because they lack the skills to do it with dignity. He offers a key framework. When someone is attacking you or expressing fury, the goal is not to defend yourself. The goal is to understand what pain or wound is underneath the anger. Anger is almost always a symptom. Under the fury, there is usually fear, grief, humiliation, or loss. The technique: slow down. Name what you're hearing. Ask about the experience behind the position. Help me understand what this feels like from where you're standing. This is one of the book's most personal chapters. Brooks writes about his closest friend, Peter Marks, who fell into a devastating depression. For the first time, Brooks had to learn how to show up for someone in darkness. Not fix them, not cheer them up, not give advice, just be with them. He distills the research and his experience into clear guidance. What not to do? Try to solve it. Offer silver linings. Say, I know how you feel. Ghost them because it's uncomfortable. What to do? Show up consistently. Don't make them perform wellness for your comfort. Ask small, specific questions. Say, I don't fully understand what you're going through, but I want to. And keep showing up, even when they push you away. The profound insight. Depression makes people feel like a burden. The greatest gift you can give someone suffering is to make them feel like they're not a burden, that you want to be there. Brooks argues that empathy is not a feeling, it's a practice. And most of us do it wrong. He references the still face experiments in developmental psychology. When a mother holds an expressionless face and does not respond to her baby's bids for attention, the baby first squirms, then cries, then collapses in existential distress. Being unseen, even briefly, is traumatic at the neurological level. This is the root of all empathy. We are wired to need recognition. Every human being is asking from birth, am I safe? Am I worthy? Will I be loved? True empathy means entering someone's reality without judgment, not projecting your own feelings onto them, but actually receiving theirs. Brooks quotes psychologists who distinguish between cognitive empathy, understanding how someone thinks, and affective empathy, feeling what they feel. He argues we need both, but especially cognitive empathy, which requires conscious effort and genuine curiosity. Brooks tells the story of Barbara Lazier Asher, who nursed her husband through pancreatic cancer and then navigated the howling grief that followed his death. What Asher's story reveals is something counterintuitive. Suffering, when accompanied well, can deepen a person rather than destroy them. Brooks draws on the psychological concept of post-traumatic growth, the documented phenomenon where people who have faced serious adversity often emerge with greater wisdom, deeper compassion, and a richer sense of meaning. To truly know someone, you have to be curious about their wounds, not in a voyeuristic way, but in a respectful way. He suggests asking, how have your hardest experiences shaped who you are? Most people have never been asked, and most people have a profound answer. Brooks opens part 3 with a delightful portrait of George W. Bush as a textbook extrovert, a man who could eliminate the distance between himself and a stranger in milliseconds, who gave everyone nicknames, who once kissed a political rival on the lips to defuse a tense moment. You'll have to read the book for the full story. It's something. Personality, introversion, extroversion, openness, conscientiousness shapes how a person engages with the world. But Brooks is careful to say that personality is not destiny. It's an energy pattern, not a cage. More important than personality traits are life tasks, the developmental challenges each of us is working through at any given moment of our lives. Drawing on the work of developmental psychologists, Brooks shows how human life unfolds through a series of tasks. Bonding in infancy, individuation in toddlerhood, identity formation in adolescence, intimacy in early adulthood, generativity, contributing to the next generation, in midlife, and meaning-making in old age. The insight: to truly know someone, know what stage of life they're in. A 30-year-old asking, "Who am I?" is doing something completely different from a 60-year-old asking, "Did my life matter?" even if the surface behavior looks the same. Psychologist Dan McAdams at Northwestern University invites people into his lab and spends 4 hours asking them to tell the story of their lives. The high points, the low points, the turning points. Half of them cry. Nearly all of them leave elated. Many want to give the research feedback. This has been the best afternoon I've had in a long time, they tell him, because no one ever asked them. Brooks argues that the narrative identity we construct around our lives is one of the most important things about us, and one of the things we share least often. We tell stories to make sense of chaos, to find meaning in suffering, to understand who we are and where we're going. He introduces a fascinating study. People who tend to tell redemption narratives, stories where hard times led to growth and meaning, are measurably more psychologically resilient, more generative, and happier than people who tell contamination narratives, where one bad thing poisoned everything after. The skill he invites us to develop: ask people about their story, and then actually listen. Brooks profiles the writer Zora Neale Hurston, born in an all-black Florida town in 1891, delivered prematurely, daughter of a father who resented her boldness and a mother who encouraged it. Her mother's famous words: "Jump at the sun. We may not land on the sun, but at least we would get off the ground." The chapter explores how our ancestors, their traumas, their triumphs, their values, their silences, live inside us in ways we often don't recognize. Family cultures, inherited stories, intergenerational wounds, and gifts. These shape us more profoundly than most of us acknowledge. Brooks challenges us to ask, what did your family teach you about how the world works? What stories were repeated? What was never spoken? The answers reveal layers of a person that no resume or social media profile ever could. Brooks closes with the ultimate skill: wisdom, the capacity to see deeply into another person and say the one thing that helps them see themselves more clearly. He tells 3 small, luminous stories. A teacher who tells a shy second-grade girl, "You know, you're really good at thinking before you speak," and turns the child's whole year around. A teacher who tells a teenage Brooks, "David, you're trying to get by on glibness. Stop it," and teaches him a lesson he carries for decades. A father who scoops up his drunk 13-year-old daughter off the front porch and says, "There'll be no punishment here. You've had an experience," and makes her feel seen instead of shamed. Wisdom, Brooks argues, is not intelligence. It is not expertise. It is the rare ability to perceive what someone most needs to hear and to offer it at exactly the right moment, with exactly the right compassion. And what enables wisdom? Everything the book has been building to: curiosity, attention, empathy, patience, the willingness to truly enter another person's world. So here's where David Brooks leaves us. In a world that has never been more connected and has never felt more lonely, the most radical act you can perform is to truly see another human being, to ask real questions and actually listen to the answers, to accompany people through their darkness without rushing them toward the light, to recognize that every person you encounter carries an entire universe inside them, one that deserves your curiosity, your respect, and your attention. The skills in this book are learnable, but they require a choice every day, in every conversation, to be an illuminator rather than a diminisher. Start small. Ask one better question today. Listen all the way to the end of someone's sentence without thinking about your response. Pay attention to someone who usually goes unnoticed. That's how the world gets a little less lonely, one seen person at a time. If this video helped you, consider picking up the book. It's worth every page. And if you want more summaries like this, subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss one. Thanks for watching.